Milo Rodriguez, sitting on a couch in the middle of a ruined city, tells about his long life. He is the last man on the earth, and he fears oblivion. There is footage of horrific views of disease, suffering, hunger, and death. There are piles of garbage, smokestacks, melting glaciers, and people dying all over the earth. New York City, 2016. A kid in a wheelchair, Milo, draws spaceships. Farmer Ricky Stormgen has a combine out of order. It's a beautiful summer day, and a small plane flies over the farm. Ricky calls a buddy. Suddenly, the plane hangs up in the air and slowly descends into the corn. And Ricky loses communication, as does every person on Earth. Passerby can see how the airliner gently descends from the sky and lands on a city street. Huge flying ships hover over the largest cities in the world. People look up into the sky with fear, not understanding what awaits them. TV is on, and there are reports that all of the world's troops are on the alert. Chaos and confusion reigns in the streets. Media tycoon Wainwright puts forward a version of planetary takeover. It is not clear who flew in and why. No one tries to make any contact with the Earthlings. Suddenly, everyone is visited by a deceased loved one, and, introducing himself by the name of Carolan, declares himself the supervisor of the planet Earth. He informs that the purpose of his arrival is to help humanity. Ricky sees his dead wife Annabelle and is shocked by the visit. And Carolan, represented by relatives of people, says that they have come a long way to make mankind forget about wars, famine, and inequality. All of this will be a thing of the past. Governments will not lose power and will manage supplies. Everything will remain the same, except for one thing: injustice. The process has already begun, and it heralds the coming of a golden age of humanity. They are not conquerors, they are the driving force that will help humanity change. It's scary, but people are no longer alone. Wainwright gives the newcomers a name: the Overlords. Stunning changes are taking place all over the world. Arabs have fraternized and mingled with Jews. Ricky is visited by his girlfriend, Ellie. She has seen her dead father. The man withholds that he saw Annabelle. There are reports at a government meeting. The wars in the Congo, Sudan, and Korea, which could not be stopped for years, have stopped. Where warnings were not understood, the sun went out over the country. There was an eclipse. Afterwards, the inhabitants all joined together in chorus and sang hymns in chorus. Wainwright remembers his father, who bred pigs and cared very much for their peace of mind, so they went to the slaughterhouse happy. Milo discusses the events with his mother. It is unlikely that the aliens mean any harm. Ricky goes to a community meeting where there is confusion and addresses the people. They have seen what the aliens can do, and what can people do to them. So why waste the air? If it's an invasion, it goes well for the Earthlings. In the evening, the couple is getting ready for bed. But suddenly, all the electrical appliances turn on, the house begins to shake, and then it literally shatters into pieces, and a bright light flares up in the yard. He goes out into the yard, sees the flying module, and asks to leave his house alone. The structure immediately comes together as a whole, and the door opens in the module, which is where Ricky enters. At this time, the military checkpoints close the area over which the spaceship is hovering, but a lot of sick and crippled people try to make their way to it. Ricky finds himself in a hotel room for honeymooners. He recognizes the place, the Four Seasons Hotel. This is where he and Annabelle spend their first days after the wedding. Carolan's voice reassures him. He had come to explain what was happening. Humans were on the verge of discovering interstellar travel, but the stars are not for humans. They need an envoy to be the liaison between the Overlords and the Earth. A man is best suited. He is smart and brave. The people trust him and call him the Soothsayer. He chooses him out of the two candidates. Ricky demands to show his face, but Carolan can't do it yet. People have to know so much. The alien draws Ricky's attention to a strange object. It is his gift, and Ricky can do anything with it, even throw it away. Intelligence officer Paul Danlow learns of Ricky's abduction and goes to his farm, where journalists and onlookers gather. Ellie recounts what happened when the capsule landed in the yard, and everyone sees Ricky alive and well. People beneath the ship try to break through the military formation. One woman with a baby in her arms silently holds the crying baby out to the sky. Danlow asks Ricky to hand over the object he received from the alien. The man hesitates, and the military takes him at gunpoint. Ricky hands the vial to Paul. The man takes it and it goes off. The baby in the woman's arms stops crying and the terrible red spots come off his face. Everywhere, the sick are recovering. The most terrible diseases go away. The first cure happens when the vial is opened. Ricky gives a press conference. He has been chosen as a mediator and it is difficult for him. Carolan did not show his true face, but he asked Ricky to tell people that there will be no more wars. The environment and social policies will all change. When asked what the alien ship looks like from the inside, Ricky jokes, like a Four Seasons hotel room. Ellie hears this. Ricky finds himself in the Carolan's ship again. He says that not everyone believes him, and the latter reminds him of religion. Not everyone believes in God either. He simply sends the children to school so they can learn to help themselves. The man returns home, and Ellie says she realized. Annabelle came to see him, hence the motel room, but she's always there for him. Wainwright speculates about the aliens' plans. They've been around for 1,000 years. They will put the Earthlings' vigilance to sleep, give them prosperity, but this is an invasion. There is a commercial about a farm where pigs are raised. A child's voice in the background of sausages being made tells them that they are truly happy. Sponsored by the Freedom League. The alien refuses to show himself again. People won't accept him, even though they've already begun to feel each other's pain. This is a healthy start. The Overlords have sealed the oil pipes in Saudi Arabia to bend the tycoons to negotiations. Wainwright is ready to show the Freedom League petition, signed by 22 million people who want the aliens expelled. Ricky reminds them of the peace that has come to Earth. Now it's time to finish hunger. Thousands of warships have been freed, so why not load them with food and send them to those in need? At a meeting with the Arabs, a suggestion is made. Fill the freed pipes with water and transfer them to Africa. But the oil tycoons refuse. Then Ricky asks them to let everyone get drunk. All the girls fill the glasses with oil. The Arabs have to accept the offer. 6 months later, there is footage of Hitler's military parades. The voice says that when they first arrived, everyone was scared, but they brought order and stability. The sponsor is Freedom League. Milo's mother is proud of her son. He wrote an essay on the Overlords and received a scholarship for it. The boy tells that the Overlords split the forbidden bushes in Ecuador. It's not magic. They are 30,000 years ahead of Earthlings. Freedom League is gaining momentum, though Carolan had hoped there would be no more angry mobs in the world. Ricky asks to show his face again, but the alien is only made fun of by pictures where he appears as a centipede or a robot. One thing he can say for sure is that he does not look human. Late at night, Milo finds his mother buying forbidden meds from her dealer. She is dissatisfied with the quality and demands a refund, but the man pulls out a gun and beats the woman. Milo steps in and the man shoots him. The woman screams and hugs her son's body. Suddenly, a beam of light falls from the sky and the perpetrator falls. The beam moves on Milo and the boy comes back to life and is on his feet. Wainwright talks about it on TV. The dealer, of course, is a scoundrel, but he's just destroyed without a trial. That's why Freedom League is growing. A girl, Greta, joins the conversation. Her mother was a faithful, but after arriving of Carolan, she stopped her own life because the concept of God is destroyed. Ricky is captured by Freedom League militants. Ellie doesn't know what to do and appeals to heaven. They must help. Ricky is brought to Wainwright. He suggests that the main joins the League, because only an organized resistance has any chance. The whole conversation is broadcast on the internet and all over the world's screens, without the tycoon even realizing it. He continues his entreaties. Let the world collapse under human leadership, then thrive under the heel of aliens. Ricky realizes. It's about power. Wainwright orders the shooting. Suddenly, time stands still. Ricky sees the door open and Annabelle calling him to her. The man goes to her but asks her not to come again. Ricky has buried her. He finds himself not far from his home. As morning comes, Ellie puts a camera in Ricky's pocket. He must see the Carolan for real. The man voices his displeasure at the alien. He could have interfered with the League, but Carolan wanted to show the world that, for profit, the Resistance is even capable of murder. Now their spirit is broken and the League is dissolved. A worldwide confederation has already been formed. Now the states will unite and the people will live happily ever after. They will show to humans when the time comes. Earth is not the only planet they look after, and they've seen people's reactions to their appearance. In the meantime, he thanks Ricky for his work. Ricky holds the camera up to the glass and takes a picture. Later he shows it to Ellie and confirms. Carolan was right. He can't show this to people, and he proposes marriage to Ellie. Greta urges the churchgoers not to give up and keep faith. The news report that Wainwright has hanged himself in his office. Milo visits his elderly friend, Kenny. The boy's upset. Science is dying, and he doesn't want it to, because he intends to be the first person to fly to their planet. 15 years have passed. Milo got his degree and got a job as an astrophysicist. Mom got cleaned up and got younger. It happened to everyone though. Earth was reborn and is now waiting to meet her guardian angels. Kenny, instead of the old car, has moved into a motor home. Although he can live anywhere. People, realizing that they no longer had to earn money, settled wherever they wanted, leaving their apartments with the doors open. The aliens succeeded in creating a paradise on Earth, Pasadena. Jake Gregson is greeted outside the house by his son and rushes in. It's on. The family sits down in front of the television. Tonight, Carolyn will prove himself. 200,000 spectators gather up in front of the monument where the spaceship will land. Greta is watching TV too. The ship goes down. At Carolyn's request, it is greeted by children. To the amazed cries of the Earthlings, the devil comes out to them. This is where the first episode ends. This is not just an adaptation, but an adaptation to modern realities. Back in 1953, Clark depicted what is happening in Western society now, and looking at the changes made by aliens comes the understanding that humanity must change, and the time for this has already come. You can see the continuation of the series now on the screen.